All right, here we go.
And now, it's time for the Body Surf Podcast with Tim and Owie.
Hello and welcome to the Body Surf Podcast with your budgie boys. Just Tim here this week with a very special guest, cute boy Corey Sainsbury. How you doing, mate?
Good afternoon, Timmy. I'm great.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're live. It's about, what is it, about 6:45 here in Sydney, and you've just got back from a big trip up north to Newcastle. How was that, mate?
Mate, it was wonderful. We had some good surf up there and a great crowd to top it off as well.
Yeah, we'll get into that a bit later, mate, because there's some big news coming out of Newcastle today, and it's not just Kalen Ponga. There's a bit of Corey Sainsbury news as well, so we'll get to that shortly. But it's great to have you back in the studio. There's so much going on. It feels like we've been stuck in limbo for a very long time, and stuff's starting to happen again, and it's very exciting.
Mate, can I say, this is the first time I've been in the studio without Owie here and how much better it is.
Is this just going to turn into a sledge fest of Owie?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I'm all for it. He'll probably call in if he catches wind of this. So.
Yeah, he should.
Owie, if you're listening, if you're tuning in, call in live. Even though this is not a call-in show, we'll take Owie's call and see if he wants to lose it at Corey Sainsbury. That could be a bit of biff leading into the ABC. Owie versus Corey.
I've got the bragging rights on him at the moment anyway. He didn't even make the final. What's he even good for?
So, yeah, let's get into that real soon. But for now, there's some big news coming out. I guess personally, you've decided to sort of stick with the boys from Hawaii, and you're going to be riding with Team Defin at the Australian Body Surfing Classics coming up very soon in Maroubra. Tell us a bit about how you came to this decision, because a lot of people want you to surf for them, and I think you've made the right call. But talk us through what you were getting into.
Well, I feel like you should just go with what's good and what they've won the last couple of years. So why wouldn't you just continue to go with that? But it's a bit of a change up this year. They've had some new inclusions and some late dropouts as well. So it's a bit of a different Defin Hawaii team this year. The core of it's the same, but there's a few different competitors this year in the Defin team.
That's very interesting. Are they going to publish a team list sort of closer to the event, or are they keeping it hush-hush?
I think we like to keep it a little bit on the down low, just for those Cobra guys that might be tuning in.
Yeah. They're watching tapes of you guys in the training sheds and trying to work out how to edge you this year. Now, if we look back at some of the comps in the past, Defin Team Hawaii have absolutely dominated. How long have they been involved in Wompoff and now the Australian Body Surfing Classic?
I think it's, we had a year off last year because of that bloody virus going around. So I think they started in maybe 2019 or 2020. A couple of years now. Yeah, I think they've won it every year. They've actually come to it. So they've got a pretty good track record.
So you're thinking they definitely would have been at 2019. Was that their first year?
Yeah.
So they've only done one, I'm guessing then.
Nah, because they did the one at Maroubra and the one at Cronulla.
Oh, they were there at 2018 as well.
Yeah. Oh, was that? No, 2018 was Thirroul.
Thirroul, that was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
was
was
Bay one.
No, that wasn't the first one. There was like a couple before that as well. There was one at Narrabeen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, we need to rewrite these history books because I'm getting a bum steer. I thought Wollongong, Thirroul was the first one, and that's the one Bait Bay won, yeah?
Yeah, Bait Bay won that.
So it was going a bit before that as well.
Yeah, I think maybe South Coast won it at Narrabeen. I could be wrong,
but that's how it got taken to Thirroul.
Yeah, if you have a chat to Belly Slater, he has some big war story about the Narrabeen comp that how he charged this 5-footer. I've never seen Belly charge more than 1 foot, so I don't really believe it. But he likes to tell the story anyway.
Well, we've got some big Belly news coming up later in the show, so stay tuned for that, Belly Slater. If you're listening, you're also welcome to call in and have a chat. We should mention we are live on YouTube, which is very exciting. We haven't done this for a while. We thought, let's just go live, see what happens, and that way I don't have to upload the video later. It's already there for you guys to watch. I'm just a very lazy person, and we'll upload the audio a bit later on for those people who prefer just listening to the stream, so that will be up soon. Let's talk briefly about what happened yesterday. So it was the Flat Rock Invitational competition in Newcastle. big day on the body surfing calendar, a very exclusive event. Obviously, you can only go or compete if you get invited. You've been competing in this for the last few years.
Yeah.
What was the first one you did?
It was probably 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, well, so I've only actually competed in one, but it was 2 years ago because last year it was just the local crew because it was that COVID, not allowed to go however far.
Yeah. So you got the call up again for the 2022 Invitational.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So I did the 2021 and I think I placed fourth. So I took out every heat. I was surfing great. It felt great in the 2021. And then when I got to the final, I flopped. Yeah.
And who got you that day?
Who was it? The one, Owen Surfcraft.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, he surfed most of the day on his back. He likes the old layback.
The old backstroke, yeah.
The judges, that seemed to tickle the judges' fancy, so yeah, he won on the day.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for some other competitions that are coming up. But you took out first place yesterday. Congratulations, Corey.
Thanks, Tim, yeah.
It must be exciting because I know you've wanted to be a part of that competition for a while. And as you said, you got the invite a while ago and you got fourth. To take out first place, what was that like? What were you feeling like yesterday?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. It's such a good comp as well, and like I think I could be wrong, but I think it is the longest running body surfing comp in Australia. It's been running since I think it was 2002.
Oh,
wow! On and off, and it was originally held at a beach in Newcastle. Now it's held on a little reef break, which is like a right-hander. It's about normally the conditions they have is about 3 to 4 foot. It kind of starts to barrel, and it's just these beautiful barrels that it's a little bit like a local break in Cronulla, in Bundeena actually, a little bit like that. It's shallow. It's called flat rock for a reason because there is a flat rock and it comes out of deep water. But yeah, man, it's such a good comp. 24 competitors they normally have. Normally 4 Sydney-siders, but this year there was a couple of COVID rule-outs from Newcastle, so they had to include a couple of extra from the Sydney crew. So there was a couple of people from Sydney fortunate enough to get an invite this year that wouldn't normally get one.
Yeah, I catch up with Ryan Fitzgerald a bit later on, and we'll cross over to him and catch up with him and get a bit more information about what the day looked like yesterday. But just personally, Corey, how do you think the day ran?
Yeah, it was pretty good. The conditions were lining up pretty good. The only thing that we were a bit worried about, well, Ryan was a little bit worried about, was the wind. And that did affect it a bit. In the morning, it was a bit choppy, but by the time it got to the final, it was actually a bit of a glass off. It was a lot of hard work. It was definitely a swimmer's comp the other day. A lot of hard work to get out there, a lot of hard work after you catch a wave to swim back out, which normally the comp's not like that. It's normally a point break. If you move a bit to the north side of the break, it's an easy swim out. But there was dolphins. I got closest to a dolphin than I've ever been yesterday. There was these dolphins body surfing the point. I don't know how I won the comp. They should have won the comp. They were pulling these bloody air. They were getting air off the wave.
And what colour were these dolphins?
They weren't my skin colour, that's for sure.
So a bit of dolphin action. I've been on the record saying how much I dislike dolphins. Is it scary getting that close to them?
I don't find it that scary, but I don't know. I don't have a phobia of dolphins.
I would prefer a shark than a dolphin any day of the week. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'll say that till the shark takes my leg off, but for now I'm saying that dolphins, I'm off you. Sharks, you're all right. All right, so sounds like a cracker day. We'll catch up with Fitzy very soon. A few stitch-ups took place. Are we allowed to talk about one of them?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah.
This is great. So you stitched up Uga. Now, I surfed with Uga on Saturday morning. He had a good little surf. He got out pretty quickly. He was pretty cold.
Yeah.
But I also surfed with Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
So Wolfie was out there. I don't know if he goes by Wolfie. Lone Wolfie was out there, and he was sort of saying, like, how the Budgie boys looking for the comp, all that sort of stuff. Who's in your team? Oh, Uga, Uga might be a good get. And Uga is a podium finished body surfer.
Yeah, especially on a swimming day. When it's a day for a good swimmer, Uga's your man.
But you stitched him up real good. Tell us what you did to him.
Yeah, so The Newcastle Invitational is a very exclusive sort of thing. Normally, only 4 Sydney-siders get a spot, but this year it opened up to a few more. So we have a bit of a group chat, and there's probably maybe 5 or 6 people in this group chat. And this year, everyone in the group chat happened to get an invite to the Flat Rock Invitational besides Uga. So we were giving Uga a bit of shit, mate. You know, you were the only idiot that did get an invite, you know, no, sort of thing. Well, after the comp, I messaged Uga and I said, mate, Ryan, the guy that runs the comp, he was pissed off. He was pissed off today. You were on the whiteboard. You were meant to be in heat 3, which was actually the ladies' heat, but you were meant to be in heat 3. But you weren't there, mate. You didn't show up, and he was just annoyed that you were the only one that didn't show up without reason. You didn't send him an email. You didn't send him a message, and Uga freaked. I didn't know I was invited. I'm so sorry, and sent Ryan this long paragraph on, oh my gosh, Ryan, I'm so sorry. If I had known I was invited, I would have been there. I'd love to be a part of the competition in the coming years. And Ryan sort of got back to him like, I don't know who you are, mate.
Now, I've been involved in a stitch-up similar, and I saw straight through it. Uga's a very good body surfer, and as I said, he's been in some comps and finished in the top 4.
Yeah.
So, it's a believable stitch-up.
It is, yeah.
But it's still embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor Uga. Uga, if you want to call in, feel free and defend yourself. But, mate, maybe Uga will get an invite next year.
I think even if he gets an invite, he'll just think it's a stitch-up now.
That's it. It's a bit of the boy who cried lone wolf, I guess. So,
Yeah.
Uga, we had a great surf Saturday. I think that was enough to get him through. And he got out pretty quick. I'm not sure how he would have done in Newcastle. Was it a bit warmer up there?
It was warm. Yeah, it was actually warmer in the water than out. I think the boy said something like 22 degrees. But the wind was the cold part on the weekend, so it was warm in the water, but once you got out, you were freezing.
Now, our very own Matthew Owie O'Donnell got a start at the Invitational. How did he go?
Yeah, he did all right, I think, the O-Dog. The first heat, so he'll claim that he got second in the first heat, but he actually got third, and the person who came second pulled out, so he by default got second. So he'll tell you that he got second. Fair enough.
Who was that person who pulled out?
It was one of the Newey locals. I think he injured himself.
Oh, okay.
So did Owie, actually. He cut his foot up.
Yep.
I have a little gash on my foot too, but nothing compared to Owie's. He had a pretty big cut, I think.
What's the insurance like for this comp? Do you sign a waiver?
Nah, it's pretty under wraps. It's very low key. There's a guy named Greg there who actually started the comp back 20 years ago. And if any boogers run down, to try and join the lineup, he'll chase them away off the rocks. And he's a pretty old, grumpy, scary guy.
Right.
He'll fucking just...
Yeah, right.
he'll chase them off the rocks and get them out of there. So it's a pretty under the radar sort of comp. It's good.
So he got second in his heat through to... What does that get you through to?
Not much. So there's the good thing about this comp is there's 24 competitors, but everyone surfs twice. It's 20-minute heats. You have your first heat. There's 5 heats, 4 in each heat, and then you get round 2, which is the same thing again, and then it goes. If you win both heats, you're obviously through straight to the final. It goes straight. 5 people go through, or 4 males go through to the final, and 1 female. So one of the heats was a all-female heat. 4 of them go through. So if you win both of your heats, you're straight through. If you come first and come second, then you might be a chance of going through. It goes off your highest scored wave compared to the other people that came first and second in their heats.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to run it. Everyone gets to surf twice. If you had to surf any more than 3 heats, you'd be buggered because comps, you swim and you're catching a lot more waves than you normally do, and you're swimming hard and you're rocking off and you're rocking back on. So you don't really want any more than 3 heats. So 2 heats and then a final's good, but everyone gets to surf twice, which is a great thing.
It's only really achievable because of the small numbers, because it's an
Yeah.
invitational, you can do stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Wolfo has been kicking around the idea of a Budgie Boys invitational for a while, and I think maybe in the next few years we'll get that off the ground. And
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that we'd love to have you maybe as our headlining act for the Budgie Boy Invitational if the dates work out and you're available, and if you're still body surfing by then.
What
because
performance am I giving? Am I getting on the guitar or?
we want you to compete in the comp. We want you to go out and smash everyone. So yeah, who knows? Are you thinking, is retirement on the cards for you, or are you going to keep charging?
Nah, mate. I'm gonna keep charging. Or what Spurlow's 50? Oh no, I think 60s or 70s maybe. So what? His 70s? Yeah, I think he's mid 70s. So I've got 50 more years left in me. I still got to be bloody charging harder than he is at his age.
I'm just thinking, if I was to win a comp, I'd probably think about retiring and finishing up on top.
Well, Pete's 50, and like he made the final on the weekend. So 50. I say 50. That's a mistake. It was 70 or 80, something like that. The old man's get the great grandfather of body surfing, as they call him.
Well, let's catch up with the man behind the big day, Ryan Fitzgerald, who is the organiser of the Newcastle Flat Rock Invitational. Ryan's on the line now. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, mate?
Good, mate. I'm pretty cooked still from yesterday, but yeah, I'm good.
Well, before we get a bit of a debrief about yesterday, take us back to the history of this invitational competition. How long has it been running?
2007 was the first year we've run it. Might have been a couple of years in between we didn't run it from here and there, and COVID in 2020 put a stop to it. But so it hasn't run every single year since 2007, but most years.
Now, why did you choose to run it at Flat Rock? Was it running there before you took over, or did you?
It was, mate.
This? Yeah.
Yeah. It was all a result of the vision of Greg Mayers. Like Greg and I had been surfing the joint since about 2003. And as we body surfed for the next few years, Greg was really keen to get a contest up and running at the beach around the corner of Newcastle Beach. And he was making inroads into that. We were getting a little team together. And somehow Greg managed to link up with Don McCready. I think Don had run one contest already somewhere on the Northern Beaches, can't remember. Someone from Newcastle was at that event, and this somebody knew someone in Newcastle who knew Greg. So word eventually got back to Greg.
Right.
And Greg and Don McCready managed to link up. And, and took it from there. We got the organisation happening, and Don brought a team up, and we got a contest happening at Newcastle Beach. 2005 was the first year we ran it at the beach. And so we ran that 05, 06 and 07. But like beach contests, as you know, not only are you beholden to the swell conditions, wind conditions, but you're also the banks as well.
Yeah.
Like if the banks aren't happening, then the contest isn't happening. And obviously you don't have that problem at a reef break. Now, just around the corner from Newey Beach was Flat Rock. There's a beautiful little body surfing break, and Greg would look at it in frustration, like, why can't we have a contest right there? But obviously a reef break, it was a localised reef break, right? So the board raters, they're very precious about it. They call it the jewel, right?
Right.
So Greg can sweet talk, mate. He's got the gift of the gab. Anyone who's met him will attest to this. He's good in that regard. And so we went out, had a little chat with the gatekeepers of the place, and they gave it the go-ahead, but we couldn't run it on the high tide because that's when they like to be there.
Yeah.
Greg said, no worries, we'll do it on the low tide. So, that's how we ran it. In 2007, he sent out, I think we got about 16 people in the comp, very low-key, no prizes, anything like that, no advertising, no photos, very little, so kept it very low-key. And it went really well, and we just kept running it, mate. Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I took over about 2018. I took over the reins.
Yeah.
So Greg ran it for a while, yeah.
Good stuff. Now, you mentioned, running a comp at a beach has its issues, but running a comp at a reef break like this also has its issues. You've probably seen all the different winds and tides and all the sort of different conditions. What has it been over the last few years when you've been sort of running it?
Oh, I think 2018, oh, God, I had to postpone it twice. Let me see, I'm just looking at the old... 2018, that's right, it was when Matthew Breen won it. Oh, man, that year it was just horrible. We postponed it twice. The third time we came, it was similar to yesterday, except smaller, just fresh south swell, fresh south wind. It was just howling and horrible, but just so we can't postpone it again, so we just ran it. After that, we had a good run. After that, I mean, 2019, 2021, we had really nice conditions. Yeah, we got lucky. It was really good. Offshore, clean, good size, 3 to 4 foot. Last year was probably the best we'd had it.
Now take us through some of the winners from those previous years, 2018, 2019 and 2021. Do you remember who took it out for those years?
Well, mate, I'm looking at the Perpetual Trophy right now, so I can tell you. 2018 was Matt Breen. He came second yesterday. 2019, Owen Hancock. I reckon Owen's probably pound for pound probably one of the best body surfers in Newcastle. He's got that long, tall physique. He just scoots across the wave. He's a human surfboard, basically. So, yeah, he's really good. 2021, Jay Rossetti won it last year, mate. He was cooking last year.
And you've got a few different divisions as well, don't you?
Well, up until yesterday, there was only one division, and we finally got around to adding a women's division, thanks to the efforts of Sally Burns, married by the lifeguard. She was really keen to get. Yeah. Sally was really keen to get into it, and she mentioned it. She tried to get me to do it, I think, last year or the year before or something. A whole bunch of circumstances prevented it. I can't remember. And so I was determined to get something happening this year, and so was Sally was absolutely keen. She put a rocket up me, mate. We got it done.
So you're telling me a lot of those old boys are taking on the young ones?
Yeah, it's still here, mate. Yeah, Spurlo's still around.
And
yeah, a few of the older Nilos were in it yesterday as well. Well, a couple of older boys have been surfing it since the 70s. We were out there yesterday.
All right. Well, let's get to yesterday because it was hard to sort of get some media coverage, but a few posts came through and it was very entertaining to see it all unfold. Talk us through yesterday. So talk us who was invited and talk us a little bit about how they went.
Ooh, well, there was I got Spurlo invited a handful of blokes from Sydney. I leave the Sydney invites up to Spurlo generally. So there was Corey, Ricky, Nick Brabot. I got about 10 blokes from Newcastle who'd been in it in previous years. There was a couple of new faces. Just looking at the heat draws now. I got Dan Graham in it from Stocko Wampers. Tried to get a couple of the other Stocko Wampers in it as well. Dan was the only one that stuck his hand. They're right into their handboards, the Stocko boys.
Yeah.
They're a fun crew, mate. They came over and they were good crowd support, brilliant crowd support. Really good to have them there.
Did the infamous Bunger have a crack?
No, he didn't. No.
So who was representing the Stocko boys yesterday?
That was Dan Graham.
Oh, and how did he go?
Oh, he did. I honestly couldn't tell you where he came. All I know is he wasn't in the final. If you're not in the final, there's nowhere. I don't know any places other than what was in the final.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, you've sort of answered this question, but I kind of want to ask, like, whose dick do you have to suck to get an invite? Because I don't know how Owie got this invite, but it sounds like he's got some deal with Spurlo, I guess.
Good God, how did that come about after fabricating a bullshit on the spot about our contest? It put him in my field of vision, so to speak.
You're right.
And I also wanted someone from the Central Coast to represent as well. That's why I asked Daniel Carr to come up as well. It was a last minute thing. People were pulling out the last minute, so I asked Daniel Carr. He wasn't able to wing it in time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He was.
He will always be the understudy to Chevy, I think.
Okay. Yeah. He put in a good charm for himself.
Yeah. How did he go? Did you see any of his waves?
Oh, I think I shared a heat with him, but I don't recall seeing any of his waves in there. I was just too worried about my own survival.
And how did you go out there, mate?
Yeah, okay. I did score the dubious honour of wipeout of the day from the judges.
That is a great honour.
Actually, I was pretty. It was a good wipeout. I was pretty proud of it, actually. Yeah.
And
the wave just bottomed out under me. Yeah. So I got stuck in the lip, and just next thing I know, over the falls, straight to the bottom.
How big was it yesterday?
Oh, good, solid 4 foot plus. Occasional 6 foot closeout coming through.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I guess we've got. I guess we've got to talk about the man of the moment, Corey Cute Boy Sainsbury. Now he apparently pulled off a front flip.
He did. I don't think he quite got out of the white water, but mate, he came bloody close. It was good, mate.
Now was that in his heat or in his final?
That was in the final.
Oh, what a risky trick to pull out in the final, but I guess it
I
paid
know,
off.
mate. It was confident. Good on him.
So Corey got the gold and got the podium finish.
That's right.
What do you think of this kid? We've been saying this on the podcast for the last 3 years that he's the next big thing, but I think he's really risen and gotten that title now.
Well, mate, the dude's, he's a frother. He just wants to. I remember the first contest he came to a few years ago. He said to me he'd been wanting to go in the contest since he was about 12 or 13 years old.
Mm.
So when you put your mind to something, you go chase it, mate. You get there.
And he's been a part of it for a little while. He's got a few invites here and there, I think. So
I think this was the second time he's been up here. Yeah.
So it must have been just a big day for him to take out that title. That's incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
I was really happy for him, actually.
Now, we've got to talk a little bit about the artwork, the Flat Rock Body Surfing Invitational 2020 artwork. Who put this together? It looks amazing.
The artwork from yesterday's comp. Yeah, that was an artist in Sydney by the name of Marty Schneider.
Okay.
I found him on Instagram. I love that old school, what do you call it? I don't know if you call it lowbrow art or whatever you call it, but I really love his artwork. Him, Ben Brown, guys like that, do some brilliant stuff. And so I got him on board for last year's contest.
Yeah.
I gave him just a little brief, and he nailed the beauty for us last year. And so got him on board again for this year. I gave him a little bit more direction. I wanted something more representational of the spot. Like the pump house is there and the bleachers are there from the ocean baths. And got inspiration from Creature from the Black Lagoon. You have a look at the movie poster for that old movie. It's like the font of the writing. It's similar to the movie poster. And it's got those what do you call them? Like sea monsters, sea creatures, whatever you call them. Like from seen the movie The Shape of Water?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a B grade thriller on a VHS cover kind of thing. It looks it's such an amazing artwork. I really love it. Are you selling much merch? What are you putting this on?
Man, I've got a few T-shirts spare. That's about the only merch I've got. But yeah, I've still got a handful of men's and women's T-shirts left.
I'm sure Ari will grab a few. Now,
actually, his partner April actually bought one too.
Oh, good. I'm sure they're wearing it to bed tonight, matching pajamas.
Oh God, I'm just okay. Getting it on with the Flatty artwork.
Now, what have you got planned for next year? It sounds like it was a huge success yesterday, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. It seems like a really chilled comp, but like it's the place to be. Everyone wants an invite. So, what's it going to look like in 2023?
I don't know, mate. It only happened. Yeah, give me a chance to get me breath back and get some energy back, mate. I haven't even thought about it. First thing I did is check the tide times. To find an actual date we can run it without pissing off the board riders.
Yeah.
But it'll be during winter, and mate, I don't even know. I haven't even thought about it.
Well, I'll let you get some rest, and I'll let you start thinking about next year. But I'm also available to commentate. I don't know if you know this. I am Belly Slater's apprentice commentator, so I am available for a cashy if you need us.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind, Tim.
Have a lovely night. We'll catch up soon, and well done on yesterday, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There he is, Ryan Fitzgerald, and a few stitch-ups going around, but it's not Fitzy and Whipper, it is just Ryan Fitzgerald, and what a top bloke. The event sounded amazing. What do you think? He gave you a really good rap there.
Yeah, he's a great bloke, Fitzy. He's been running it for a couple of years now, but yeah, I heard him say there that I've been looking to go to that comp for a while, which is true. When I was about 13 years old, I was searching up body surfing competitions, and the only one that came up was the Flat Rock Invitational. How do I get an invite to this thing? But yeah, so it's a bit of a dream come true from little 13-year-old Corey to take it out.
What else have you got in your sights?
Well, the next thing is Womp Off.
Yeah, but you have.
I've won a Womp Off.
Are you going to try and win the ABC? Is that a different thing for you?
Nah, I'd like to. I love the pipeline comp, so I'm 22, so I just hopefully go over every year and maybe take that out one year. Fingers crossed, hopefully. But the Hawaiians are pretty competitive and pretty good, but it's a bigger wave over there, so I don't think they're as great in the bigger stuff.
And obviously they have the home ground advantage. You're only surfing it maybe once a year.
Yeah.
But you do hit it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Does it take you a while to adjust to it?
A little bit. It's a lot like Middles in Cronulla, so that's not Middles, Vui, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get a bit of practice in there. But once you sort of get the hang, it's a 2-week holding period, the pipe comp. So especially if they don't hold it in the first week, you got a week to get used to it, and it only takes a day or two to get a knack of the wave.
And you'll have to watch out for Owie because he'll be weaseling his way into that event somehow as well.
Oh, he'll be trying to. He'll be trying to.
All right, well, let's talk a bit about Wompoff 2022, or as it's now called, the Australian Body Surfing Classic. That's coming up on the 17th of September at Maroubra Beach. I'm excited that it's at Maroubra again. I think it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm praying that we get a nice little wave that day. I've been surfing around there a bit more, just trying to scope it out. Not many of the Budgie boys have been in the water for a while. That's a bit concerning, especially when we're going up against teams like Hawaii Defin and the Cobras and the East boys. And it's going to be tough, especially because we're out of practice.
Yeah.
We've been stuck at home for a couple of years.
Yeah.
We haven't been keeping ourselves in check, and we've all let ourselves go. But I'm just hoping that there's a wave that day that allows us to do something on it.
Yeah, fair. What do you reckon the best conditions are? Because if you have the small stuff, then people can't do much in it besides the Hawaiians and stuff like that. They throw those flips and the little belly spins, and so you don't want it too small. But then you get to the bigger size, and it just becomes a bit of a womp wave. So I guess you got to find the bit of in-between ground where it's... I was saying this the other day, for so many years now it's just been between Defin, Hawaii and Cobras. And I think that's cool because it's been small surf and that's what they're good in. Get a bit bigger. Would it mix it up a little bit?
Yeah, I think, you went down and had a look at Cronulla on Saturday.
Yeah.
To me, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
I think everyone could have got on that wave, but there was some stuff happening that if you got a set, you could do something really special with it.
Yeah.
And the day before Wompoff, the last time at Maroubra, that was a spectacular day.
Yeah.
So something like that would be really good, and I don't think it would rule out the young ones.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. You want it to be inclusive and everyone can have a go, but you just want it with a bit more power, not too full, and just... Yeah, you just want a bit of push, really. Especially for us bigger guys, we don't want to swim too hard.
Yeah, exactly. And teams, Timmy, there's been a few inclusions and exclusions.
Is this late mail? Is this breaking news? Is this a bit of buzz Rothfield here?
We got no Goldie sliders.
Yes. We're aware of that, and it's very unfortunate. I'm not sure really. I know a little bit about what's happening, I guess, but it's a real shame.
Yeah.
We're also missing out, I guess, on South Coast as well.
Yeah, and we've got an inclusion of the Newcastle body surfers, which is Ryan Fitzgerald.
So exciting.
And his little crew. So they're normally a pretty exclusive team that just compete in that flat rock comp that don't travel much.
Do you think John Watson will get a start with them?
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he definitely could.
Any Stocko boys going to try and sneak in?
Yeah, I don't know if the Stocko guys have got their own team. They might have their own team, but there's also I forget where they're from, a Mad Dog team. And I haven't heard of these people before. And
the Mad Dogs.
There's also a team that have a lot of females in it. A newly put in team that have a lot of females in it.
It's not the Clams, is it?
No, I think it's a team full of 7 females and 3 males or something. So they're going to get all those extra points.
Do you think those little bonus points help?
Or if it's a small day.
Well, yeah, and we got to remember that Defin won it by the fin sprint. So, it does all count.
And I know there's one confirmed judge at the moment. That's Pete Spurlow. And
that's exciting, yeah.
And I know his track record of
Are you allowed to
judging.
say all this, mate?
Yeah, I think this is publicly known.
Because Ricky came on and wouldn't say a thing.
Oh, really? Well, Pete Spurlow's record with judging is, that was a really good wave, 1.23. That was a little bit better than 1.7.
I would think that Pete Spurlow has a real good attention to detail.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he's scored a wave above 2 in his judging career.
I don't mind scoring it low, but as long as he's taken it all in, and I
Yeah.
think he would. I
Yeah,
think
he would.
he's very like that. So that's exciting. I'm keen for that.
But what the females get an extra, like double or something like that. So if you're small, score small or something, I think they get an extra point or something. So if
I think it's half a point.
yeah, if the scoring's small like that, half a point makes a big difference. But if it's big scoring like 8s and 7s, half a point doesn't mean much. So it depends on the scoring on the day as well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Spurler will be briefed about, how to sort of score him up, and it's going to be...
I carpooled with Ricky and Spurlow up to Newcastle, and Ricky was definitely given Spurlow the hard word of, mate, you've got to amp your scoring up a bit. I don't want to see, Defin Hawaii Dane Torres got the highest scored wave of the day of 3.2.
I'm all about that, but you're right. It does change things up, especially when you start talking about those bonus points or half points or whatever they are. So, yeah, very exciting day. We'll keep plugging that until the big event. The Body Surf podcast is definitely going to be involved in some capacity, and the Budgie Boys are going to be there competing. The night before, we've just announced we're going to be doing a live version of the Body Surf podcast at the Newtown Hotel. This is very exciting. We thought we would cash in on the ABC.
This is huge.
Yeah, it's our first live episode, and we're clocking up to about 100 episodes, so it could be our 100th. We might actually go over, but we're trying to time it perfectly so we can do our 100th episode live with a studio audience.
Yeah, and you heard it here first, guys. Timmy's actually going to do a nudie run live on the podcast.
I think it's only like if you don't score a try, you've got to do a nudie run. So maybe at Wompoff, if I don't score very well, I'll have to do a nudie run or something.
That's in the post Wompoff celebrations, though, not the pre-Wompoff celebrations.
Yeah, that's right. So
you have to come to the after party for that.
The after party is always wild, but the before party, we're not sure how this is going to go. Are people going to be taking it easy because it's the night before Wompoff, or are they going to be so excited to be catching up with everyone, they're going to hit it hard?
I had the masseuse booked in, but I'll have to change that appointment to maybe a day before or something.
Yeah, no, my physio is working around the clock to fit me in. But the Body Surf podcast live with Tim and Owie, 6 p.m. at the Newtown Hotel, Friday the 16th of September. And then the next day, the Australian Body Surfing Classic on the 17th of September at Maroubra Beach. So tickets are available at thebodysurfpodcast.com. They're $12, which I think's a bit steep.
Yeah. But you get to listen to your beautiful voice.
Well, we thought, we had to do tickets that sort of covered a few costs and things like that. But we always give back to the community. So there's going to be heaps of giveaways, heaps of free beers, whatever we can do to try and entice you guys there. Let us know, because we're going to put on a bit of a show. So it's going to be very exciting. Hopefully Owie's available to come. I'm not sure what he'll be up to that day.
And also, what a weekend. Normally on the Friday you get that, the pre-comp frothers that go out for a swim. And then we've got the live Body Surf podcast. And then the next day we have the main event, the Australian Body Surfing Championships. What is it? What's it officially?
The Australian Body Surfing Classic.
The ABC.
Yeah.
The Australian Body Surfing Classic. And then we have the day or the night, the after party, which is always a belter.
What's on the Sunday?
What's on the Sunday? I think Hangovers. That's what's booked in for the Sunday.
There's no grand finals or anything that weekend, is there?
I hope not.
It's a big weekend, and we're going to kick things off with probably a swim at Maroubra Beach on the 16th. So Dave Malloy, the great photographer, put out the call. Maroubra Beach that morning, Friday morning. I'm thinking 6 a.m. Let's have a crack.
Yeah, well, if I'm not on work, I'll be there. So I can't wait. It's a big, a really big event on the body surfing calendar. I think probably one of the biggest in Australian body surfing, if not the biggest.
Definitely the biggest in terms of attendance.
Yeah.
Everyone's invited.
Well, you got 140 competitors, and I know I'm bringing my partner to the after party, and most people do. So that's the after party could be 200 people.
Yeah, I'm very excited to catch up with Belly Slater. He's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, he's been
Right.
on the down low.
He's getting back into things, so that's going to be really fun. And there's going to be so many familiar faces there, people we haven't seen in a very long time, so that's very, very exciting. That's all happening. So the 16th of September, we're doing the live Body Surf podcast at the Newtown Hotel, and then we will be... The big dance is the next day. The 17th of September at Maroubra Beach is the Australian Body Surfing Classic, and then the after party will follow. So we'll see you there. We got to get out of here. But you guys, remember, it's always overhead.
When you're body surfing, see ya!
Bye-bye.